everyone.
I'm back, baby.
It's Jake Ciely.
I'm great. Everybody else sucks.
Oh, hey.
Oh, no. It's every nightmare I've ever had.
Excuse me?
It's time to check the link.
Pretty crazy, huh? But it doesn't matter because none of this has anything to do with the show.
You know what? You just made the list.
Oh, wait, you serious? Let me laugh even harder.
It's all in football.
Sure, we talk about it all the time. Really? No.
What's up, you ducks? My brain's going in 7 different directions of what I want to say off the top because the comments are ready. And there's so many things I wanted to say, and I'm like, wait, should I say this first or should I say that first? So I still say, what's up, you ducks? But it is week 12, all in football waivers. Week 12, yes, 6 weeks left of this. It's good stuff. Not bad things. Just we're in the home stretch here. So hopefully everybody's still tuning in. And the reason why the comments and the reason I see the thumbs up, and I'm assuming, because I don't know, I'm guessing you don't watch most of the shows you're not on, Lauren. I don't watch most of the shows I'm not on. But I'm giving away 2 gift cards for the holidays, a $150 gift card to GameStop, which, by the way, you can get drawn and entered into, and whatever you have to do. Just a reminder, thumbs up, get you 1 entry. Comment, get you another, and then subscribe, get you 2, 5 stars, review, get you 3, and a review on, not 5 stars review on your, okay, so the 5 stars on iTunes, and then actually write a review on iTunes, get you another 3. So you can add all these up, yeah, and it's this week and next week, and then I'm going to draw the winners, 2 winners, and then the other people that didn't get it, I'm going to have a lot of people mad at me, so I'm sorry in advance. But hopefully you're not mad listening to Lauren and myself. This is the other thing I want to say is because we were talking about how disgusting the waivers were this week. So I was going to say it's unicorn poop though, because there's some good in there. It's poop, but there might be some good poop in there. So that's why they got the unicorn. That's why you didn't get this poop. You got the good poop. There's a difference.
I love it.
Lauren's cracking up. If you're not following Stepmom Lauren, follow her at Stepmom Lauren. Please do. Ew, to everybody up in Canada. I didn't mean to say ew like a Canadian, but up to Canada. We won't see you tomorrow. Enjoy. Well, you already had your Thanksgiving, so enjoy your day off from watching a lot of football. I guess you get to watch ours because we have Thanksgiving for us. As you can see, I'm spending a lot of time not jumping into the show because waivers suck this week. Don't they?
It's so bad. It's so bad. Oh, it's gross. I actually texted Jake. And I was like, I'm going to take some anti-nausea medication before this super barfy waiver show that we have to talk about these players. Ugh.
But here, one more thing for Brett. I'm not thinking that's your true last name, Thunderstruck. Every time I see that, I think of the intro because for everybody, real quick story as we dive in. When I first started on a Fox local affiliate with some friends of mine on the sports show that only lasted 6 months, they used Thunderstruck as the intro. You want to talk about sitting there waiting for a show to start?
Oh my God.
You think my 35-second intro is long? You sit through the Thunderstruck, like just the instrumental at the beginning, for the beginning of every single. It's like basically, all right, start the show. I'm going to go to the bathroom, get a snack. I'll be back, and then we can finally start the show.
I love it. Hi, Brett Thunderstruck.
Hi. Question. Before we get into waivers, Taysom Hill, and I want to bring him up as a separate conversation altogether, Lauren. Yes. I think the assumption, including myself, a lot of people are making is that he's not healthy, and that's why he's not starting. Like, he's still coming back. There's still reports that it's more than just the head injury and all that type of stuff. Then you see the contract yesterday. And the contract, I know, you're shaking the head like the same thing. I tweeted out, of course, saying I want to find somebody who loves me 1/10 as much as they love Taysom Hill. But do you think the contract is telling that they're ready to go back to him and that he maybe wasn't 100% in this week? But because Simeon hasn't been bad, but he hasn't been great. And I'm bringing this up for fantasy purposes, obviously, because like the Cam Newton situation, he's a fringe QB1 with the rushing upside if he's out there. So are you grabbing Taysom Hill if you've been playing mix and match with the Tannehills and the Cousins of the world?
Yeah, I don't mind that at all. I don't mind that one little bit. It's so confusing, right? Because right when we were first figuring out who was going to be taking the place of Jameis Winston, you were like, oh, it's definitely going to be Taysom Hill. And I was like, I don't know. Is it? And you're like, yes, it is. So I was right. You were wrong. How about that one? I just wanted to say that just so I can rub it in your face. That's it. No, I'm just kidding. But yeah, I mean, it's very confusing. So
sorry, you can predict injury. Oh, wait. Speaking of injuries, we did we torpedoed 2 people last week. We said be confident. There's two. We were saying, hey, Justin Fields' time is happening, and you can trust Elijah Mitchell because Shanahan has proven it, and both went out the By the way, this sweatshirt's making me look I don't have a stomach. I don't know why this. I just noticed. I wore a Unagi shirt because I don't have a Friends with the turkey on top of the head, so I wore a Friends Unagi shirt instead. But it's making me look like I have a stomach. I'm having self-confidence issues. What's your shirt? Thankful and blessed.
Just thankful and blessed with my favorite colors, which is like greens and turquoise and blues. So yeah, and plus there's a little leopard print around the pumpkin, which I also have matching on my brand new Apple Watch for everyone who cares about this. I know it is. It's a lot. And I love it. But yeah, I don't mind grabbing Taysom Hill. The contract does speak very loudly to something. What that is, I don't know, because
we still don't even know.
I still don't know. I mean, I would love for him to play because right now I'm a Tannehill manager. So I have Tannehill in a lot of places because I liked his rushing upside from last year. And now that Derrick Henry is gone, you're thinking, okay, well, here we go. We're going to be able to see some goal line looks for Ryan Tannehill. And he was so disappointing against the Texans.
Not even that. It was
terrible.
Do you know before the game against the Texans from week 3 through 10, not including week 11, do you know he had checked in at QB 8 from week 3 on? Like everybody thought that it was like miserable this year, but he was inside the top 10 again.
Yes, he was. And it's just, I don't know what's happening with that situation. So I would love to have, because I actually have Taylor Heineke on that same team. And I don't usually like to roster two quarterbacks. I know, I love him so much. So I have him on there and he scored me 20 plus fantasy points. And then I got barely, not even 10 from Ryan Tannehill. So I would love to just not have to deal with that situation at all and just play Taysom Hill because I know he can rush and run and score touchdowns. So I need them to figure it out. And I'm a Saints fan and I don't even know what's going on. No idea.
Well, James' comment says maybe it speaks to the Kamara injury, which is possible, but at the same time, like, okay, maybe if they were making Taysom Hill the full-time like running back and they were paying him that in running back money / quarterback money, like
yeah, it's all very
money.
Weird.
I don't get the money. This is the NFL though. On top of it, I know a lot of it's moved around and a lot of it's pushed to this, different areas where it doesn't count against the cap and stuff. But that's still a giant number, no matter which way you look at it. No matter what they push anywhere, unless they're paying him in monopoly money. There's no way to really explain what's going on with that. Hey, let's do worries off the top this week, Lauren, because the waiver wire is kind of disgusting. There are options. We are going to give you some options out there. Yeah, look, it's week 12. What do we expect to be out there? You're going to go pick up the next Derrick Henry in week 12, let's be honest. But that being said, the first one off the top. Now, I did the waiver column last night and posted it and said, Dak Prescott doesn't have his top 2 wide receivers. And then there's news at 10:30 this morning that CeeDee Lamb looks good and has a chance to play. Okay, chill out, everybody. Yes, assumedly he's without Amari Cooper and CeeDee Lamb. CeeDee Lamb, I think I've been doing this almost like working 4 places and doing my own blog for almost 15 years now, Lauren. And I think there's only been one I can think of the top of my head. It was a wide receiver. Was it Devontae Adams? I feel like it was somebody for the Packers. There was only one who came back within the same week from a concussion this quick. And I want to say it was a Thursday night game too. So the odds are severely against CeeDee Lamb. Let's go into this 2 different ways, Lauren. What is your duck concern for Dak Prescott if Lamb plays? What's your duck concern for Dak Prescott if Lamb doesn't play? And maybe it doesn't change for you. Maybe the concern for Dak is just Dak.
No, it definitely changes with CeeDee Lamb in or out. So for me, my concern with Dak is about a 2 and an egg, I want to say, with CeeDee Lamb. Without CeeDee Lamb, we're almost knocking at 4 is what I'm looking at. It's not pretty in the surrounding pieces. Really, the only one that has come through for him is Dalton Schultz. So, he's the tight end miraculous guy that's going to be one of the only ones. And then Cedric Wilson, who I'm sure we're going to talk about, had a bad case of the drops.
We can bring him into the conversation. Might as well. He's one of the top additions, even with the drops. But he's only a 1-week play.
He's literally the only one here.
Because it's Lamb. If it's out, it's now Gallup and Wilson. But if Lamb plays, then forget it. You don't even really want Wilson. So
yeah,
let me kind of phrase it for differently, because this should help people more than the advice of just go pick up Wilson. He's a 1-week play. Let's put it to this perspective. Let's say you pick up Wilson to plug in, and you're going to bench somebody like Brian Edwards or like Tyler Boyd or somebody like that. Somebody's like that fringy wide receiver 3 or 4. Do you do it for the 1-week upside, Or do you just say, forget it? I don't want to have to cut any value that, obviously has more than 1 week of value. That's I think how you have to look at it.
Right. If CD Lamb doesn't play, yes. If CD Lamb does play, no. Which really
So
stinks for fantasy purposes.
But you are doing it if CD Lamb's out.
Yeah, I am. Because literally, like you said, there's Michael Gallup.
What if you had to cut Bryan Edwards? That was the only swap you could make. So you're cutting Bryan Edwards for any potential for the rest of the season just to get Wilson in your lineup.
No, then I wouldn't do it.
Okay.
I would unless I really had the room and there was just some dude I've been hanging on to for absolutely no reason. Some dude, then I'm
here.
Yeah.
Let's bring drops into this.
Let's do it.
I do Dumpsville every single week in the column, and these are, I put them in the order of guys. I would drop them in this order. Like, he's the first to go. This is the last to go. So Tyler Boyd I put there but I would only drop Tyler Boyd for not a single wide receiver addition this week, only if you need running back help. So let's go reverse order. Now, this is like the last guy I don't want to drop, but would you? Would you drop Marvin Jones to start Wilson this week?
Oh, that's so hard. Why did you have to talk Marvin Jones? I can't quit him. I love him so much.
You know who can? The Jaguars.
Trevor Lawrence? Yeah, I know.
I'm looking at
Urban
my phone.
Meyer.
I forgot to turn my lights on. Lights. There you go.
Oh, yeah,
So
there we
anyway.
go. I was missing something.
So Marvin,
I have
you
mine.
got to make the call. Marvin Jones, Cedric Wilson. You can potentially lose Marvin Jones for the rest of the year, or start Cedric Wilson as your wide receiver 4.
No, I'm keeping Marvin Jones because we torpedoed not 2, but 3 players with Jamal Agnew as well.
Yeah, that we're gonna get to that as well.
Mm-hmm.
Emmanuel Sanders. Would you
No.
drop Emmanuel?
I don't think I would.
I think everybody needs to go back and look at Emmanuel Sanders' game log and realize.
I know, but the potential there is.
What
Oh.
potential? He's had over 90 yards maybe once, and every good
know.
game's been with touchdowns. I'm not saying Emmanuel Sanders is trash. I'm just saying Emmanuel Sanders deserves to be in this conversation. I would drop Emmanuel Sanders before I drop Marvin Jones.
Yeah, I mean, yes, I can see that for sure. Who are they playing this week? I'm trying to look at my
Bills?
Yeah. Who are they playing? It's right here.
Thursday night. Thanksgiving night.
Yeah, I know it's Thanksgiving. Oh, that's right. Sorry, I'm on cold medicine right now, so my brain is a little foggy.
Okay.
I don't
How
know,
about-
man. That's
Would
tough.
you drop Jarvis Landry for
Yes.
1 week, Cedric? Okay. Cole Beasley for 1 week?
Yes.
Okay.
Actually-
AJ Green on a bye?
Oh, that one's so tough.
No, Cole Beasley's not tough. Cole Beasley's sharing snaps with Gabriel Davis. And here's why I say this. So we brought up Cole Beasley earlier this year. His snap count was going down, and then it reversed, and it came back. And we're like, oh, Cole Beasley's back on our radar again. And it was fun for about a week or two. But now it's going back the other direction again. And what I'm saying is, like, this is going to, like, you're just going to keep – you broke up with the guy once, stay broken up.
That's
You
true.
don't want to – don't give relationships a second, third, fourth try. It never works out.
Yeah, I see what you're saying. AJ Green's a tough one for me too there. I think I would, though.
DeAndre Hopkins is coming back after the bye. Christian Kirk's essentially been in front of him. So, okay, let's go back. And yes, Cole Beasley was actually in an unbroken heart of my section. And then, hey, look, I made the mistake myself. Let's take for example. Don't go back. Once you break up, it's over. Joe Burrow. I'm asking you specifically, Lauren, your Ducks, because mine's a little skewed. I had Joe Burrow and the Bengals receivers, including Jamar Chase, as sell highs. Obviously, it's relative to what you can get in return. But I kept mentioning this about 3 or 4 weeks ago. I said the schedule gets bad. The schedule gets bad. The schedule gets bad. The schedule is getting bad. It's already started. This is what's happening. What is your concern level on Joe Burrow? Because for me, this is one of those situations where I'm like, a duck and a half, 2 ducks, because I already told you I was concerned. But if you're only getting concerned now, I could see it being like a 4.
Yeah, I'm at 3, only because I understand your idea of that perspective of having it be skewed. I still like their potential, even with a difficult schedule. I like their very high-powered offense that's now not so high-powered anymore. So I'm at 3. I'm at 3 for Joe Burrow.
Okay. Let's talk running backs.
Ooh, let's do it.
So this is an interesting one because this running back did not play last week because Lauren and I ruined him because we sat here, told you could be 100% confident in Elijah Mitchell. I'm bringing him up at the concern level because it's Shanahan. Nobody wanted to believe him because Shanahan. as many times if you didn't listen to last week's episode, what we kept saying, though, is something I've been hammering home for a while now. Once Shanahan finds somebody, he sticks with that person until something happens. That's the thing. Like, that's why we liked Raheem Mostert. That's why we liked running backs with his organization before this. This is why Tevin Coleman and Devonta Freeman back when he was with Atlanta were great. Once he finds people, he sticks with them until something happens. Something happened. Elijah Mitchell broke his finger. Could return this week. Here's where I want to, this is where I'm going. How many ducks for you on Elijah Mitchell? Because Jeff Wilson, the clear bell cow lead, tons of opportunities, but was kind of so-so in his performance. So I gave Elijah Mitchell 1.5, mostly just because of the injury. I actually think that performance by Wilson helps Mitchell keep his job if he's back this week.
Yeah, I am along the exact same line of thinking as you are there, except I'm at 2 and not 1.5. And the reason I'm at 2 is because of the finger injury itself, not necessarily Kyle Shanahan's faith in Elijah Mitchell. I'm actually just worried about his finger. That's why I have 2.
Okay. So you're giving him 2 fingers like Eli from a couple weeks ago?
Sure. Yep.
Man,
family show here. Family show.
That Manning cast provides so much goodness every single week.
Oh, they have a Manning cast curse though. It's there. I know what it's like to be cursed, Jake. I know. Okay.
No, you know what it's like.
Struggle
to curse
is real.
People. That's really what it comes down to. If anybody didn't watch it or didn't see my tweet, we're saying if you faced Jonathan Taylor last week or looking at the disdain. Like, I have never, go look at this picture. I just want everybody to see this picture just in general in case you missed it. I have never seen a clearer picture. Like you say, if I said, Lauren, make a face of disdain, like you would say, like, that's kind of, you see what I was like, it's kind of like, you can make an angry face. You can make a happy face. It's once you get to those layers of emotions, it's kind of tough to.
My cat has a great face of disdain.
Oh, that was an angry cat face. Eli Manning was the most disdain example of a face I've ever seen in my life when he had that. Like, it was just, oh my God. I could still picture my mind.
What was he so mad about?
It was the Giants offense. And then there's the Daniel Jones when he does. Jones, when they had that screenplay and Barkley kept running and he got the pressure in his face and he tried to throw it 20 yards all the way to the sideline and then threw it right to a defensive tackle picked you off. A defensive tackle had an interception. That's all you need to know. Concern level, Alex Collins. Now, Rashad Penny got hurt again.
Weird.
Again. But DJ Dallas came in and similar. This is why I want to ask you about Alex Collins and your concern level, because similar to Deonta Foreman, who everybody's like, oh my God, it looks better than Adrian Peterson. No Jerry McNichols. Deonta Foreman's happening. Deonta Foreman didn't happen. But I say that to say this. DJ Dallas looks better than Alex Collins. Objectively, subjectively, no matter which objectively you want to throw on it, he looks better. Would you say you have a concern level for Alex Collins losing the lead?
No, because Pete Carroll.
Okay.
No. He'll snipe touchdowns. See, I'm not using sniper. He'll snipe touchdowns. That's what he does. And then probably it's gonna be Travis Homer who's probably gonna get a touchdown instead of Alex Collins this week, because that's usually how it goes. But no, I'm not concerned about Alex Collins losing the lead. I am but he's not an explosive offensive piece. Like, don't have high hopes when you start Alex Collins. It's just how it goes, right?
Well, to Brett, your point about Collins has been hurt. Collins is perennially hurt, annually.
He's always questionable. Yeah.
Infinitely hurt. Like, I'm trying to think of the correct word. Like, he's just, I don't remember the last time Alex Collins has been 100%. Like, I don't even know if he was 100 when Seattle initially had him years ago. Like, I don't even think he was 100% then. Like, I don't ever remember Alex. He's similar to Rashad Penny. When has he ever been 100%? Hunter Renfrow. The panic level is shocking to me, and I think part of it is the perception of how bad the Raiders looked. I mean, honestly, the Raiders and the Giants looked very similar this week in Week 11, just abysmal, like terrible game plan, nothing worked. Derek Carr in that face and, dude, get a haircut, everything around it that was his first terrible game of the season. So I have almost essentially zero concern for Renfrow. What about you?
I understand why people are freaking out about Renfrow, but you shouldn't, because he has a ton of potential. Bad week. Try to get that out of your head. I like Hunter Renfrow better than Bryan Edwards, and I feel like I'm the only one that does. But
no, everybody does.
Yeah, I like Hunter Renfrow much better than I like Brian Edwards.
I love Brian
wouldn't
Edwards,
freak
but
out.
for fantasy purposes, it's Renfrow. For ceiling, I still think the ceiling that if it ever was reached would be Edwards, but that's tough to it's tough to see that happening. If I told you, I'm looking for him right now, and I can't find it. I'm gonna have to do a Control F. Is he just like? Am I going blind to me? Okay, there it is. If I told you Corey Davis, you tell me, Lauren, how many targets per game does he average? What would be your guess?
8.
You're very close. It's 7,
Ooh.
right on the nose.
There you go.
Do you also know that Corey Davis has never, actually twice, only had fewer than 7 targets, and they were 5 and 6?
Yeah.
So I'm setting up this question to say Elijah Moore's emergence, who is, by the way, wide receiver 2. 2. Debo's number 1. Elijah Moore is number 2 in points and fantasy points per game the last 4 weeks. 4 weeks now.
Yeah.
Does his emergence concern you with Corey Davis, who has been pretty quiet lately?
Okay. The problem with Corey Davis right now is that Zach Wilson is not the quarterback, because Zach Wilson targets him over and over and over and over again. And I understand he has seen the same amount of targets or similar numbers of targets, but it's been this mix between Mike White, Josh Johnson.
Time out, Lauren.
Oh gosh, here we go. I'm gonna get yelled at.
Are you? No. This is a legitimate question. Are you telling me that that Zach Wilson is legitimately better for somebody?
He's better for Corey Davis.
Okay. All right.
He's better for Corey. I'm not saying he's better for the Jets. I'm saying he's better for Corey Davis. But Joe Flacco's no dummy. He knows who his playmakers are. So who we have in at quarterback is really going to decide whether or not I even want to roster any Jets at all. It's going to be
are you concerned about Elijah Moore for the fact that Zach Wilson's coming back?
I am. Absolutely, I am, because I have no idea what he's going to do. And I understand that this emergence of Elijah Moore, is it because, he's gotten over his, rookie slow start, or is it because there's someone other than Zach Wilson throwing him the football?
It's actually an emergence.
An emergence. Yes, I like it. I like it.
Go.
Or it could be in a less than, or whatever you want to call it, if Zach Wilson comes back and he now goes back to getting
now
nothing.
you took it one step too far.
Whatever.
Right. Brandon Cooks. Do you know, speaking of targets, that was actually Brandon Cooks' first game of the season without 5+ targets? First. And just like Corey Davis, he only has 2 games with fewer than 7, 5 and 6. And then
that was a weird game.
He also has 11+ targets in 4.
Yes.
What's your concern level with Brandon Cooks?
No, I'm not concerned. I'm not concerned about Brandon Cooks at all.
Tyrod at quarterback? Or wait, Tyrod or Tyrod or however decides to say his name this year?
Yeah, is that okay? Because I'm calling him Tyrod. Sorry, Mr. Taylor. That's what your name is going to be on the show when I speak of you.
Do you remember this offseason when Travis Kelce was like, my last name's actually pronounced Kels, and the entire football world just said, nope, you took too long. We're still calling you Kelce.
Yeah, it's Kelce. You can't just now turn it to Kels. No, sounds like a nickname.
After
What's up,
8
Kels?
years, sorry, too late, buddy. You should have told us.
Absolutely not. Your name is Kelsey. Deal with it. What was the question?
We were talking about level for Brandon Cooks. I gave him 2, and the 2 are actually not so much with Brandon Cooks as it is just the fact that Tyrod Taylor might have quieter games.
Yeah, I can understand that. I would go 1. I wouldn't go as much as 2. It could graduate to 2. But that was just a really weird game against the Tennessee Titans. Do we have now an emergence of Rex Burkhead? No. Ew. The whole thing was just not okay from all aspects of that game. Except if you're a Texans fan, then congratulations.
Don't go chasing Texas running backs.
Oh, Lord.
It's a lot to cram into waterfall.
It was.
But
it was admirable. It was a good effort.
Last wide receiver, Michael Pittman. Speaking of first bad game in a long time. But Carson Wentz now, multiple games of looking underwhelming, and Jonathan Taylor just taking this team on his back, similar to like Derrick Henry used to. Do you have concern level for Michael Pittman, and does it tie into Carson Wentz's play, obviously?
I am about a 3 with Michael Pittman.
Really?
I am. Yeah, I'm.
How many of those ducks are Wentz's ducks, and how many of them are Pittman's ducks?
they're all Wentz's ducks. Like, they're all belong to Carson Wentz. But I like Carson Wentz. I think that this offense is doing well, but they're going to stick to what gets them the win, and that is clearly Jonathan Taylor. So I am concerned for him, especially is T.Y. Hilton back? I always forget if he's even on the field or not.
He's actually made it out of the last 2 games healthy.
Wow.
He's way down way down my receiver waiver list, but he's still like he's number 2. Yeah. And that's the biggest thing. He came out of both games healthy. Like that's really what I think the team
love how we're so surprised by that.
I know. So let's finish this off. I don't even want to. It's so frustrating. Kyle Pitts.
Oh.
There's the comparison I drew. It's T.J. Hawkinson. It's look at this passing game. Who else are you going to stop? Why not triple coverage? And if you've been watching these games, they're treated. Kyle Pitts has been a wide receiver for most of the season, like in quotes, but he's getting treated as such, and that's what it's T.J. Hawkinson. We're really scared of Zacchaeus. I mean, as much as I like him, he's fun, but Tajay Sharp and Russell Gage, that's what you're going to throw at us? Unless Calvin Ridley. You know what? I don't even ask you the worries. You know what? That just brought something to mind. I've been seeing a lot of questions the past 2 weeks, Lauren. I want to know how you would answer this. Would you drop Calvin Ridley?
No. I would not drop Calvin Ridley.
What if your option was drop Calvin Ridley or a running back like Devonta Freeman?
It depends on if I have startable options there, but
Devonta Freeman's your 4 at running back.
No, I wouldn't drop Calvin
drop
Ridley. Freeman? I think I would. Yeah, if I have other starting options, then sure. But Calvin Ridley should be in your IR spot. So this hopefully is not even an issue that anyone should drop. If you have to drop Calvin Ridley,
I don't know that he's eligible for IR because he's on a different.
I have him in IR in several leagues.
So not everybody, not because he's in the exempt. He's not technically IR. So not all leagues, even if you play with IRs and don't play with IRs, again, please play with IR spots. But
agreed.
He doesn't qualify for IR on every single site because of
okay, I get that. I mean, if you absolutely have to, I understand. In order to have a starting person in your lineup, I can understand that. It's very difficult for me to drop someone like Calvin Ridley. We don't know if he's coming back or not, and I think until we get more clarity, I would hang on to him. They need him desperately. So
they do.
Yeah.
But I called this one at the beginning of the year. I'm not saying trust me to call it like I would at this point, you've waited long enough. It's conflicting because you got waited long enough and now you're going to drop it and then watch him say that. But the team said they have no insight, no new news. And it's the same thing I said about Michael Thomas at the beginning of the year. It's I could see Michael Thomas pulling an AJ Green. And that's exactly what he did. He pulled an AJ Green. I'm hurt still, quote unquote. Let's just talk about. And it's not his Ridley's is a completely different issue. Hopefully, the mental side of things is a major thing in life. So that comes first, and hopefully it does. But I'm saying at the same time, is there's a lot of struggles with this team in general. Why not just step away from football for the year? Is I could. Yeah. I'm just saying I could see that being his thinking.
And I can too. I can too. But until I know for sure, I don't know if I could really give up on it. Yeah, but I mean, but if you honestly, have to drop him,
here's my one counter argument. That's my one counter argument. He's not last year's Calvin Ridley. He wasn't even a top 12 wide receiver. He was barely. What was he? Top 20, barely.
Yeah.
So it's not even like you were giving up the Ridley of 2020.
Yeah, but he's not coming back from a physical injury, which means that
that's if he's coming back, he should.
Right. But mentally up here, he wasn't ready. He wasn't all there, which can absolutely affect your production on the field. So if he comes back, I'm not necessarily worried about, quote, re-injury, if you will. So I would be totally willing to fire him up if he were to come back and, play. But the question is he going to come back? Lane Johnson was out for several weeks. Can you do that? I don't think you can do that right now. Yeah, that would be pretty awesome.
Unretire and get to switch teams. You can do that.
Can Brett Favre? I think he did.
I don't know. There's still rights and all that type of stuff. Let's talk waivers.
Let's do it.
As much as we've wasted time on
I know.
Else.
Sorry, everyone.
Not wasted. There's been a lot of insight here. Ramondre Stevenson. He's the tried to tell you, but it's not so much to pick him up. He's still under 60%, which is shocking.
Yeah, that is surprising.
Maybe some people dropped him because Damian Harris was coming back, but that's where I want to go with this. It's not so much to pick up Stevenson because he still should be picked up. I see this going forward. Lauren is now as fun as it was, and we finally had a lead running back for the Patriots. We didn't have to worry about Damian Harris. Now we have the Broncos, but that's not a bad thing. As much as we would like Harris to be back on his own, The Broncos are fine. They're both RB2/3s, and one of them usually finishes as a top 15. Whether it's one or the other is the question, but that's fine. I think Stevenson and Harris basically fall in the 24 to 30 range going forward the rest of the year.
And I said the exact same thing when we were talking about this before. I have no problem picking up Ramondre Stevenson because he is a great flex piece that you can plug in that should give you some fantasy points and production with Damian Harris on the field no matter what. So I don't mind it. And I think I did make I don't remember which show it was on. I think it was with you, to the Javonte Williams, Melvin Gordon situation. So yeah, pick him up. I don't know why he's not more roster. That's just silly to me. Makes no sense.
Silly. All right, so Latavius Murray came back. Here's the interesting thing. Came back. Freeman stayed in the lead. Do you think, again, this is just your speculation. I'm not saying this is guaranteed for everybody out there. This is what we do. We try to read through the tea leaves for you.
Mm-hmm.
Do you think this is the going forward, Freeman in the lead, Latavius Murray second man up? Or do you think it was first game back, getting worked back into it, and maybe Murray gets back into the lead this week? Because that really carries Murray's value because Murray is touchdown dependent.
Mm-hmm.
And if he's the backup to Freeman, barely rosterable.
Oh, I agree. So this is very concerning for me because I don't really have a great idea of what they're going to do because the Ravens are so confusing when it comes to their backfield. And especially this game where he comes back and we don't have Lamar Jackson and they were basically just game scripted out completely because of what was going on with that offense against the Bears. So I'm not really sure what to make of that situation, but here's my gut feeling about how that's going to shake out between the two of them. Between the 20s will be primarily Devontae Freeman, and then in the red zone is going to be Latavius Murray falling into the end zone.
So you prefer
I don't like
Freeman
it. I don't
over
like
Latavius?
it.
If you had to
Which
pick
one?
one,
What?
you would pick Freeman over Murray, though, if you had to pick one.
In a standard league, yeah, you might have to. I mean, I don't like either of them because of that. I hate it. It's awful.
You know what you do like? I was just looking off to the side because I always have friends on in the background to just keep noise for Barkley. You know what episode is on?
What?
And it works because of Thanksgiving. It tastes like feet.
Ooh.
Jam, good. Meat, good. Custard, good. It's so good. It's the best one of the best episodes of all time. Tried to tell everybody for weeks on end and weeks on end and weeks on end and weeks on end. Ty Johnson should be on rosters.
Yes.
I'm not victory lapping the Michael Carter injury. That was not why I like Ty Johnson. I like Ty Johnson because he was J.D. McKissick just on the Jets. However, we do have Michael Carter, who is out at least 2 weeks, if not longer. And when high ankle sprain, I don't care that's a mild high ankle sprain. Like, when has anybody been like, oh, it's a mild high ankle sprain? I'm
low grade. Like,
Yeah,
okay.
it's a high ankle sprain, period.
Yeah, it hurts.
The thing is once Carter left, Tevin Coleman was the lead option. Tevin Coleman is Alex Collins to me. Like, well, okay, fine. Thank you for your RB3 value. I'll still go chase Ty Johnson, despite the fact that it looks like Coleman's the lead. What about you, Lauren?
I completely agree. And then we'll see what happens when Zach Wilson comes back. I don't know.
It's just going to get worse.
But I'd still rather have Ty Johnson. The
Okay.
upside that he can provide in the passing game is incredible. He is, I mean, how old is Tevin Coleman now? Because I feel like he's been in the league for 300 years.
Devonta Freeman.
Yeah. Why are we still, Adrian Peterson, why are we still talking about these people? What is happening this year? Oh my gosh.
How's Frank? What's up, Frank Gore? How about the fact that Todd Gurley is the youngest of all of them? I can't, like, that knee must just been obliterated.
Just absolutely obliterated. Yeah. Poor guy. Oof.
I was going to look that up to see how old Tevin Coleman was. I was assuming somebody in the comments was going to save me the time. No, I'm just kidding, guys. Love you. Are we doing, speaking of Adrian Peterson, are we doing this again? I joked about it before. This is why, real quick, I will victory lap this. This is why I don't mess around with running backs in the middle. Like, I'm not out there chasing Foreman. I'm not out there chasing DJ Dallas or whatever. Like, it's not because I've avoided injuries, because I've had own injuries on my teams everywhere across my leagues. But because I go running back heavy, and then especially waivers at the beginning of the season, this is why go back to Elijah Mitchell. Can it go sideways? Yes. But if I'm going to pick up a running back and chase this game, I'm going to go hard weeks 1, 2, and 3 in case somebody like Mitchell happens and something like that. Because now we're look at these names we're talking about: Latavius Murray, Devonta Freeman, Adrian Peterson, Tevin Coleman, Boston Scott, DJ Dallas, Duke Johnson, like
Quadric Olesen.
This is why I don't want to ever do it. But
yeah, I agree.
The point being here is Deonta Foreman was not only not the lead despite looking better than Adrian Peterson, he was third behind Dontrell Hilliard, which, by the way, don't go pick up Hilliard. Hilliard filled the McNichols role, who should be back this week. But that's the point. Foreman is still third. So are you going to get Adrian Peterson, or are you going to, this is the Houston Texans, just stay the hell away?
I hate all of it. Like, I hate all of it. If I have to, I guess I'll go get Adrian Peterson. If he's available, probably not. I don't know. It's gross. Again, and that was a weird game too, which I despise because that really wasn't their identity. AJ Brown was hurt. Julio Jones is on IR. They had no one to catch the football. And they were playing from behind.
And Foreman was still third. That's my point here. Is like that's
Burrow, and he threw 4 interceptions. Ryan Tannehill. It's like, no, it was gross. I don't like it.
You know what, Phil, Mike, I want to give you a shout out. Thank you for telling me how old Tevin Coleman is, but admittedly, I'm going to let you know right now, I didn't believe you and still went and Googled it. That Tevin Coleman's only 28.
Stop it. That's not right. That's not right.
This is like dog years. This can't be right. Like that. Okay, but what is it like? That's NFL years, but in real life he's 42. Like
he's got to be.
There's no way.
That's not possible.
I double checked. I looked. It's 100%.
That's crazy.
Before we get to wide receivers,
would he enter the league when he was 15? Like, never mind. Go
got
ahead.
his driver's license, drove straight to the NFL.
Right there.
Boston Scott, that now that Jordan Howard's hurt, Duke Johnson signed immediately the number 2, or DJ Dallas or Kadre Olson. Of those 4, who has your most interest?
None of them. Maybe Boston Scott, but I don't. Why?
I gotta tell you who has the most intrigue for me. It's not Boston Scott.
I mean, Duke Johnson's interesting also, but I mean, it's just
Duke Johnson.
Really, I feel like we've had this experiment with Duke Johnson every single year, and it never pans out. It never pans out.
No, it pans out. No. Here's the thing: the expectations for Duke Johnson needs to be checked. In fantasy, everybody, hey, you know who used to play for this team years and years and years and years and years and years and years ago that everybody wanted to get more touches and he never did, and then he left the team, got more touches, and he was the same guy just on more touches? Lamar Miller. Duke Johnson is the lesser version of even Lamar Miller. Just understand Duke Johnson is what he is. He's an RB3, half and full point PPR, J.D. McKissick, those kind of guys, which is valuable, but stop expecting more. That's what it is. Stop asking and expecting for more for Duke Johnson.
I just hate it. I hate all of these options. It's terrible because Jalen Hurts is now the lead running back on that freaking team. I don't even know. I don't like it. I don't like any of it. I'm so very salty today.
You are. This is like
very salty. I'm sorry, everyone.
So, Devonta Freeman's at least 29, so there you go. But Todd Gurley's in that same age range.
That is so weird. That is so weird. He's only 28 years old. Like,
how about the fact that Adrian Peterson's 10 years older and looks the same speed as Tevin Coleman?
Well, like we said earlier, he's a cyborg, so I don't think he counts.
He is.
He's like half alien.
Let's stick with the Titans real quick.
Why?
Because you mentioned AJ Brown. Because we have to. You mentioned AJ Brown. My sleeper du jour of the week, Marcus Johnson, almost immediately hurt on his hamstring reaching for that touchdown.
Yep.
And it was the same hamstring, which means he's not playing this week. He's probably not playing for a while. Westbrook-Ikhine was a thing briefly, but the reason Marcus Johnson became a thing is because he fills the Julio Jones role, unlike Westbrook-Ikhine, which interestingly, I'm not saying Fitzpatrick's going to leapfrog Westbrook-Ikhine, but they drafted Des Fitzpatrick in the 4th round, and Fitzpatrick slightly fills that role better than Westbrook-Ikhine. Trying to parse through this, is there a second option you care about? And then if A.J. Brown is out, is there an option you care about?
I like Nick Westbrook-Ikhine. I think that he was, when he had the opportunity to do so, he did pretty decent. Des Fitzpatrick, I'm not sold on that one quite yet. Rookie kind of worries me, and I'm very concerned about Ryan Tannehill and what he's going to have to be able to do in this offense that I'm not really quite sure is in his skill set. So I'm concerned about all of them, to be completely honest. And then there's always Chester Rogers in the mix there that just throws everything out of whack. It's not fun.
No, it's not. You know what else is not fun?
That I didn't even answer your question.
I mean, that in and of itself, but I'm kind of used to it at this point, and I understand that if I just push the we have to circle back to the Houston Texans.
Why?
Because Philip Lindsay just got cut.
Are you serious?
Yeah.
Like just now?
Like legitimately just now, reported by Rappaport. Corey King actually put it in the chat. Philip Lindsay is cut. We are down to David Johnson and Rex Burkhead.
Rex Burkhead. Oh my gosh. That's crazy.
Are you picking up Rex Burkhead?
I would go Rex Burkhead over David Johnson, but David Johnson's killer in the receiving game, but it's Tyrod Taylor at the helm here. So I think I have a little bit more faith in Rex Burkhead. He did have 18 carries. It was crazy.
Would you
I
pick
can't
up
believe we're
either
having
over
this
Boston Scott?
conversation. Yeah, I would.
Really? Both?
Yeah, I would. Oh, yes. Yes, I would. Yes, I would.
Week 12, Fantasy Football 2021.
This is what we're reduced
to.
This is why I wore
Draft
my happy hat and my happy shirt with all my favorite colors. So I can go to my happy place.
Hey, I'm with Brett. I'm still not, because they still, who do they have back there? Oh, actually, I was just Royce Freeman. Yeah, Corey's right. Royce Freeman's still on that roster too. Like, still not.
He's
messing
still in
around
the
with the
NFL?
Texans. Oh, he's been tossed around like 3 teams now. Carolina cut him, and then he jumped over, and the Texans insist on having 3. I'm surprised. I'd be shocked if they don't bring in a 4th. Like, just because they.
Well, Duke Johnson's already signed, so sorry about you. Like,
Scotty Phillips is on IR, so I don't know where they go. Wide receiver, these 4. I don't know how many times I have to bring up these 4. We've been doing it week in and week out, but it's interesting. 3 are on the same team. Darnell Mooney, I don't know what people have to do. I'm assuming everybody watching and listening to the show, Darnell Mooney's rostered in your league because you people are smart. Because you're watching this show, you people. you people. Everybody, you're smart, so I'm not even talking to you. I'm talking to the 40% of America or Canada, the world, who plays fantasy football and are idiots who still let Darnell Mooney sit out there on waivers. So let's talk the Giants, because the Giants are interesting. Kadarius Toney continues to fill the Sterling Shepard role, which is the Daniel Jones only looks to one guy. That guy. But Shepard's still a question mark. Kenny Golladay, wonderful game. Darius Slayton, out target receptions, everything. Kenny Golladay. So is Kenny Golladay droppable? That's where I'm going with him. And then Shepard versus Toney. Would you just go Shepard and stash him for the fact that as soon as he comes back, he's the number 1, or would you just take Toney because at least he's playing right now?
I would go with Toney because at least he's playing right now. He also has pretty explosive opportunity. I'm just not sold on what Sterling Shepard is going to be able to do long term. And yeah, I think Kenny Golladay is droppable. Like, ugh, that's so hard to say. Feels dirty.
Kenny Golladay or Marvin Jones?
Ew, Marvin Jones. Marvin Jones.
I honestly agree with you. Kenny Golladay or Emmanuel
hard.
Sanders?
Oh, man. I actually might go Kenny Golladay there. Oh.
That's gross.
I don't like either of them.
So let me spin this way for another one. Assuming your trade deadline hasn't passed. A lot are Thanksgiving week. So it's a specific group of people we're talking to right now. Elijah Moore. We go back to him, that Jets situation. Are you selling the living hell out of him as you could possibly do just because of the quarterback? Okay.
Yes.
Let me go this way then. Let's say you need a running back. Would you take a fringe RB2, or are you targeting at least a rock-solid RB2 if you're trading away Elijah Moore? Because I say that to say our concerns of Elijah Moore is similar to Rondale Moore after week 2. I do think Elijah Moore is better. I do think Elijah Moore is in a better situation. All that being said, because at least at worst, he's the number 3, unlike Rondale Moore's the number 4. However, after week 2, Rondale Moore was bringing in a haul, but if you waited too long and week 3 hit, it's almost like, do you take what you can get? It's the bird in the hand versus 2 in the bush. That's the saying, right?
I don't know. Something like that. Yeah.
For this show, the duck in the hand versus 2 in the bush. Elijah Moore for Damian Harris. Do you take Damian Harris?
Oh, I would like to ask for a little bit more than Damian Harris. I think
that's not. No. You don't get to throw caveats on this. The point
why?
Being, because this is why I gave you Damian Harris, is because I'm saying this might be the best you can get right now.
Yeah, then I would take it.
Okay. Obviously, you're going to try and shoot higher.
Yes.
But my point being is that if you're in that low-end RB2, Javonte Williams, do you get out from Elijah Moore?
Yeah, I could do that.
Okay. So I think that's my point, is that like if you can get just even that level, obviously aim higher, but get away from Elijah Moore before it goes sideways. How about Marquez Valdez or Valdez Scantling, since we don't even know we finally found out how to pronounce his first name. We don't know his second name anymore. But MVS, are you interested in MVS?
I think I have to be. And I don't like it because MVS is one big dropped ball away from being the nemesis of Aaron Rodgers again, which is what he is known to do. And I hate having to rely on someone like MVS because he's going to have a huge game. And then this week he's going to suck. But the potential is always there. That's why he's always so intriguing. But I don't like it because I do not trust him at all.
So we also have a revamped saying. Thank you, James. It's now instead of a bird in the hand worth two in the bush, it's a duck in the hand worth two in the pond. There we go.
That's better. Yes,
there we go.
Much better.
Well done, James.
Thank you, James.
Elijah Moore or T. Higgins? This isn't even close to me.
Higgins.
I'm shocked at the amount of people. Yeah, that's a bad game. Do you know the 2 weeks before that he had 11, 12 points? T. Higgins is still targeted many games as much, sometimes more than Jamar Chase. Like, I understand the connection hasn't been there, and I am concerned about the Bengals going forward, like their schedule. I keep mentioning their schedule, but at the same time, let me go back to that then. Do you have a concern level for T. Higgins?
Not really, no. I think so much of this excitement around Elijah Moore is because in the offseason he was hyped, through the roof. It's like, oh, Elijah Moore.
Thank you, Matt Harmon.
Yes, exactly. So then when he had a very slow start, now it's suddenly a very explosive now that Elijah Moore is here. So now we're having these questions that I don't think you should be having whatsoever, because it's T. Higgins for me without even a second thought, because I like that offense. I like what Joe Burrow can do. I understand they're going to have a really tough schedule, but defenses cannot double and triple cover Jamar Chase and then double and triple cover everybody else. And I like that they have a very solid run game. That helps out the passing game. So for me, it's T. Higgins. Don't overthink it.
Okay. Oof, you see, I wasn't expecting you to be that upset.
I did sound very upset tonight. I'm not feeling well. I have a cold, so I'm a little salty.
Monday, not that I really care for everybody to know, but Monday's my birthday, so I'm getting all the birthday emails of like, Chipotle, here's your free guac. And like,
do you want me to send you this? You can wear
I'm
this.
Good, thank you. I would wear it. I actually would. If you sent it, I would actually wear it.
You should. I'll make
Disney, I'm going to just say Disney is the worst ever. They sent me, here's your 20% off for your birthday. If you go to their site right now, their Black Friday deal is 25% off. What the hell, Disney? Like, seriously? Like, what kind of offer is that?
Can you do an additional 20% off?
No, it's just a side 20%. Before we get Laviska Shenault, Jamal Agnew, it was fun with Jamal Agnew, but here's my question for Laviska Shenault. Is it guaranteed it's even him as the number 2? Because you know who was on the field a hell of a lot last week? Laquan bleeping Treadwell, everybody.
Yeah.
And then Tavon Austin, if you're talking about Shenault versus Austin, who's like Jamal Agnew? Tavon Austin. I'm just saying, like, how long is Tavon?
I cannot believe we are having a conversation in the 2021 season about fantasy viability of Tavon Austin of all people.
Here's the thing, though.
What's happening?
Urban might be backed into a corner just like Shanahan was, but Shanahan was backed into a corner to Trey Sermon and then immediately got back away from him when possible. Are you thinking Shenault can now be a wide receiver 4, or are you just not even wasting your fab or waiver priority if you're 1 or 2, because Urban Meyer's done nothing but say, I don't want to do Laviska Shenault?
Yeah, I would rather have someone like Cedric Wilson than Laviska Shenault.
All right, then before we get out of here, you can only pick one to pick up off waivers.
Okay.
Laviska Shenault, Robbie Anderson, Will Fuller, am I coming back, yes or no? Traquan Smith, who is wide receiver 19 the past 4 weeks.
I know.
But might now have Taysom Hill. So Shenault, Robbie, Will Fuller, Traquan Smith. You got to pick up one before we get out of here.
Robbie Anderson.
Will Fuller for me.
Ugh.
He might not play for another 3 weeks, but hey.
See what
top 30 wide receiver if he ever gets back onto the field.
Okay.
Top 1% of the show. She is Stepmom Lauren. Follow her at Stepmom Lauren. Make sure you're checking out theathletic.com/BetsTV, all capitals. And make sure you thumbs up, comment, subscribe, 5 stars, and review. Screenshot all of those. I'm going to get blasted with all your entries in about 2 weeks. But, hey, $150 gift card. And to Canada, we'll see you on Monday next week with Meanie. No Jeff for you this week. That might be a good thing or bad thing, depending on how you feel about Jeff. No, that's a bad thing. Ooh. You missed out. Go listen to it. Listen to this on YouTube or at BetsTV now, BetsTV.com. We'll see you tomorrow.